I'ma have some fun with this one here. Woo-hoo! In the morning, when I wake up, all I want is Mary Joanna. In the evening, when I'm thinking, all I want is Mary Joanna. If you look in my eyes, you will see what I've done. Every minute, every hour of every day. But life is like a smoke. In the end, I'm gonna choke. So all I do is live my life from day to day.
Oh my God, you know you better watch yourself because I know you're waiting on that one. Cause I'm telling you, Nana. Cause you know the one that I take off away and you let me see you do that run. Run, the one that they clan, the one that done. Cause I know you cannot be me now what you wanna do. Cause I'm about to break it down, me, cause you know you cannot fade me now, let you wanna. You better back at that now because I'm telling you, what bar, bun bar, cause I cannot wonder. Because you know you like the way you put that pick up. Cause I'm telling all you fools what happened. And in a mercy. Now what you wanna do? And in a mercy. Now what you wanna do? And in a mercy. Now what you wanna do? And in a mercy.
If you look in my eyes, you'll see what I've done. Every minute, every hour of every day. But life is like a smoke. In the end, I'm gonna choke. So all I do is live my life from day to day. You got to lick it, stick it, bend it, crease it, stack it, burn it, pack it, roll it, poke it, roach it, smoke it, then you pass it to me. You got to lick it, stick it, bend it, crease it, stack it, burn it, pack it, roll it, poke it, roach it, smoke it, then you pass it to me.
Come on, baby girl, let's get it going on. I'ma hit the highway and do it my way. It ain't no game, girl, so I don't play games. I keep it up straight, right up in your face. So make your mind up, cause life is too short. I got the vest on, boy, put your belt on. Stop acting all cool like Kanye West, boy. You be riding through the wire and the camera get on fire. You don't want that, no, I don't want that, no. This goes out to pimps and chicks, so slow. Hit the backseat when you're doing the licking, kissing, squeezing. Do the damn thing, man.
You got to lick it, stick it, bend it, press it, stack it, burn it, pack it, roll it, I want it, touch it, smoke it, Joanna to me. You got to lick it, stick it, bend it, press it, stack it, burn it, pack it, roll it, I want it, touch it, smoke Mary Joanna to me. You got to lick it, stick it, bend it, press it, stack it, burn it, pack it, roll I want is touch it, smoke Mary Joanna to me. In the evening, stick it, bend it, when I'm stacking, burn it, pack it, roll I want is roach it, smoke Mary Joanna to me.
Do 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 do. Can you hear me? Oh, bollocks. We'll try not doing that. There we go. Hey, good evening and welcome to Raconteurs News this Thursday night. It's Thursday. I thought I'd jump on for a bit. I need a poo first. Sorry, Josh. No time for a poo. Good evening to you anyway. Listen, sorry I didn't come on Tuesday. I just really couldn't be arsed. Look at my face there. I'm fucking dog on the wrong side. I need to fit that round somehow. I need to spit. Oh, Jimmy will fucking cover my face up anyway. That's all right. That's good. Wait, it won't cover my face up, will it? Anyway, sorry about Tuesday. I really I weren't feeling it, and I weren't feeling like 100%. I'd just been out with AD all day, and I felt like, well, I just felt a bit tired and a bit overwhelmed. Really, first time I've been out for a bit since I've been ill. But anyway, I thought I'd do one tonight because I'm not doing tomorrow night because Wednesday are on telly. Sheffield Wednesday, my team, they're in playoffs and they're playing tomorrow night. And I'm sorry, everybody, but it's only every now and again that I really give a fuck. And this is one of them times. We're playing Sunderland tomorrow night. So wish us luck, whatever we're doing, even if you're a United fan. It's a lovely picture of me and Watson. Yeah, there you go. We were sat together. I think I can get it. Let me see if we can get it right. Let me bring Jimmy in anyway. I asked Jimmy to come on tonight. Jimmy Hagan. I asked him to come on and thought he could explain. And I was interested in the the conversation in the Raconteurs News Telegram group last night. So I wanted to get him on. So he'd had something. Good evening, Jimmy. How you doing, mate?
How you, Jay?
Good, good. How are you? Things with you? Where you are?
Oh, excellent, man. Just the same as last week, bro. Life is fucking brilliant, and it's not like it's fucking I've got an amazing life or anything, but just in general, so considering all the shit that's going on, do you know what? Couldn't ask for better,
Certainly not now. I couldn't ask for better either. It's just that sometimes, like I don't know what it is. Whether it's somebody sent me a text message. Paula sent me a text message this morning. Hello to you, Paula. Thanks. I got your text message. I read it. And she made a point that some people are like do get this. There is times where it seems to fucking get at people. You know what I mean? Get at everybody. But I think I've got over that. I think the best way to deal with that is withdrawing. Is like what I do. Just for a bit, just to get me head straight. But I think my head's straight now.
Yeah. You know what? You're spot on, Jay, because all that like bullshit that they're pumping at people, it's like a constant message, and you probably noticed it starting way back with Brexit, right? Brexit was the narrative for about 3 or 4 years, and then the narrative switched to Trump, and then the narrative switches to COVID, and now the narrative is now on Ukraine. So they try to keep you sort of your mind wedged and focused on something which should not really bother you, really, and they hype it up. They I have to hats off to those cunts, man. They are fucking geniuses because they understand exactly how fucking people's heads work. They know how they get sucked in. Look, basically, we've been telling them how our heads work on social media for the last fucking however long, going way back. So they know exactly how we think. We know what gets they know what gets our fucking, they know how to push our buttons,
Yeah. I was watching that. I was watching something on Netflix about Cambridge Analytica. I know Neil Sanders goes on about Cambridge Analytica quite a lot, and he seems to have become a little bit, that's his thing at the moment, at this particular moment in time. Well, I don't know at this moment in time, but he has had it on before. But they certainly do know exactly how to push his buttons and how to do stuff and how to divide people up. I mean, it's brilliant. It's absolutely fucking brilliant. I mean, from birth, you're divided up, aren't you, really?
Absolutely. Like, I think Cambridge Analytica got Trump elected. I'm nearly certain of it now.
And, I think they did as well. I mean, they got Brexit as well. They were behind Brexit, really. Coming from this, from what I saw. I mean, I haven't watched the documentary. I'm not into sort of like diving. I like to dive into some things quite deeply, but if it's something that's had its arse fucking wiped and all that sort of thing, like if there's enough on Cambridge Analytica from Neil Sanders to keep anybody whether interested for long enough. So,
do you know what? I might be interested if you do a show on that, Jay. I'd probably be interested in tuning in to hear Neil Sanders. I'm not sure I've heard him before, so I'll look it up. Okay, definitely.
Jesus Christ! Don't look up Neil Sanders. Fucking hell, they'll kick you out of chat room.
Really? Yeah. Okay.
Nobody likes him. Nobody. Everybody's got a different view to him. So. I
know what you're talking about now. It's after coming back to me because he sort of like came out in favor of the jabs, right? Yeah.
Well, okay. In favor of the jabs, but he said COVID was like a real thing. It had not been hyped in any way. Webby loves him. In fact, we'll get Webby on if you want to come on, Webby.
Look, all this bullshit, yes, COVID is real. Yes, the virus is fucking real. Well, if you can call it a virus. I don't call it a virus myself, but it's real, and it's time people got over it. But look, people have to go down their own rabbit fucking holes. And but look, I've read the Department of Defense documentation on like what they made, and get over it. It's fucking real.
I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I think it was just flu. I think they just give it a name and just said, right, well, instead of calling it flu, we'll call it COVID. But
No. It's actually quite real. It's quite real, and you won't understand it until you read the. You won't understand it really until you read the excellent analysis of the virus that was done by the Salk Institute, and they explain exactly how it fucking works. And it's not a flu. But and like even the Department of Defense in their released documents, they clearly state that like the coronavirus was a terrible way to spread this thing, because it would never create a pandemic. So, and that's why they made 3 different forms of it. They made one that was aerosolized. They made one which could be ingested, and I think they made one that could spread by skin contact. And it's not a fucking flu; it's the spike protein, and it gets into the vascular system.
I thought the spike protein were in the vaccine, not in the virus.
It's look, it's the spike protein, whatever it is. If it could be in a virus, I don't know. I'm not sure about the virus. I'm not even convinced there's any such thing as a virus anymore. I used to believe in viruses, but I'm not even sure I believe there is anymore.
No. I mean, who fucking knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
It's just this fucking great ride we're on, and we need to embrace it, don't we?
Absolutely. We just have to get over it. It's a fucking toxin. It's probably nothing got to do with the flu either. The flu probably just came around as it normally does. But clearly the Department of Defense didn't think it was a good way of spreading their poison around. And that's why they made these other specific ways of spreading it around, which was the skin contact, the aerosolized, and the one that could be eaten. Because when they tried to infect they were trying to infect the bats with this fucking thing, and it wasn't fucking working very well. So so they had to create different ways of trying to get it into the bats, So but I think anybody who denies of its existence is really like missing the point. It's quite real. I'm convinced of it now myself. It's quite real.
Really. Do you want to buy a bridge?
Well, if it's in the shape of a spike protein, maybe. How much is it?
I don't know, but you're happy as fuck, aren't you? So when you first came on, you're like happy as you're doing great and everything. So why not? Let's try and sell you some shit, man.
Yeah. But it's like we were saying. Everybody's on a learning journey of their own, And I'm finding the Telegram group kind of like interesting. It's kind of interesting to watch it because there was some good conversations in there last night, And I try to stay out of them as much as possible because it's not really my thing. But it's curious, I love seeing what people are following and what they're interested in, and this space topic is really like pushing buttons,
What talk?
The space topic, space.
Oh, the space topic. Oh, right, okay. Well, I don't think there's any real way that we can expand on that. I did watch it. We're looking at it last night, actually. I didn't know any other way that this. You can see there that this is definitely real. They're definitely in space. Watch this guy here. He goes down, and then this other guy draws him closer with his gravity string. Sorry. There we go. Oh, there. Oh, there we go. That's definitely real, isn't it? He's not. Oh, dear me.
I thought he was dropping the hand. Isn't that what you do? Like when you went like that time, you drop the hand, and hopefully it doesn't get caught on camera,
Well, yeah.
I mean, he was going to squeeze his nuts,
He's going to be in trouble, that cunt, isn't he? Fucking definitely. No sandwiches for him when he gets done.
But come here, somebody was talking about bubbles or something. Come here, I had a quick look twice at it. I couldn't see any fucking bubbles.
There's plenty of alleged space footage that you can see a bubble coming out. You can see a little thing coming, like moving, and it acts like a bubble would in water. But you see, they move at different angles, so you know what I mean. It sort of gets you. Sorry, Webby. Fucking hell. I'm just going to invite Webby on.
Wicked.
It's what were I saying? Bubble,
Well,
yeah.
talking about the bubble.
You know, camera angles are different, aren't they? But you can see the
Yeah.
bubble. You
Yeah.
can see what people say are bubbles. I don't know whether they're bubbles. I don't know whether they're real or what. Sorry,
Well, come
Webby.
here. I see bubbles all the fucking time, you know. And there's this one particular bubble, and everywhere I used to look, and this little bubble would sort of like glide over to one side, and I say, "What the fuck's that?" And I'd look the other way, and next thing, the thing would sort of chase after my line of vision and sort of like eventually catch up and eventually stay dead center of you. And I was looking at this fucking thing for years. It says, "What the fuck is that? That's some sort of mutant space worm or something." But it turns out, right, that there's these that everybody, well, not everybody, but like a lot of people have these little defects in their eye, and like I think they're almost like a little creature, but we all have the potential of getting these kind of little worm-like creatures in our eyes, you know.
Yeah, I've got them. What they call that? People call them something, don't they? But I've seen them before loads of times. When you're trying to look at it and it just goes away, it goes out of your eye line.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so the eyes can deceive. You know, but I didn't see any bubbles last night in that video. But I thought your man's hair, the hair standing up like that was fucking excellent. You know.
Well, I mean, that they put women's hair up, don't they? It's like it's vertical, but if you think about it, it's just going to be floating about above their head. It's just going to, like, you know, so how do they move? It's going to move. Wait a minute, but it don't. It stays fucking rigid because it's covered in fucking hairspray.
Yeah. Oh, those poor girls must really have to do themselves up like every morning, like with all the hairspray. I would have thought hairspray would have been sort of like banned on a space station because like inflammable material, like explosive materials and a dangerous oxygenated.
Yeah, it's not going to be. They're not on space station, are they? For fuck's sake, you've just seen that bloke trying to fucking pulling that other bloke with a string back into fucking into picture because he thought he were going out. I don't know what they would. I think on that it were can you do a I think it were a kid asking him. They were doing a thing where there's space between space and kids at a school, and a kid asked if he could do a somersault right now, and so he did one, and that was result. But you can see the women's hair; it's all fucking stuck and fucking. They've got some rape mousse on there, them fuckers.
Yeah.
But you said it must take ages, but they're actors. Actors spend a lot of time in makeup.
Yeah. And you know what? CGI is so deceptive these days, you know, and it can do so much with CGI. It's unbelievable.
Here it goes. Here's the Webster Report. Web Otto. Good evening, Webby. How you doing, mate? Long time no dig.
In a bit. Are you okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, mate. Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. That's me, Mike.
Hello, Webby.
So he dropped the mic, man.
Good
Can't hear me. Can't hear me.
Yeah, you're fine.
Great, sweet.
Hey, do you want to see what my face would look like with Dog's face?
No. No, I don't.
Oh,
I'll do this, fucker.
that's good.
I can't see it. I can only see half of it.
That's because there's something wrong with you. Stop it.
That's
What do you
brilliant.
mean there's something wrong with me? Come on.
There's something wrong with you. We've discussed this many times.
So what's going on with you, Webby?
Oh, it's same old shit, but I'm getting there, mate. They won't beat me. They picked a fight with somebody that they had chance to walk away from and not pick a fight. And in the in between, as you well know, they've took my knees off. They've done what they could, but I'm still here, mate. So that means that they're in trouble now.
Well, as a guy with one biological knee left, I can understand that that's pretty difficult. And it fucking took your shit away. But like you say, I mean, you can't beat me, can't they?
They only took them metaphorically. They didn't take them physically, like yourself. But they've not done a good enough job, if you know what I mean. I'm still here, mate. I'm not dead. So that means they've not done what they should have done, because it has to, it has to even out.
It has to, say that again, sorry.
What they've done to me has to even out. So the fact that they've not killed me and I'm still here, hello, the fact that it's got to even out that, it just is the way it is. And do you know what? I hate using that term these days, because it's like, well, it is what it is. No, it's not. We've accepted a load of bollocks for so long. This is what it is. Well, grow some balls and stand up for yourself. Or don't. That's where we're at.
Yeah, it is where we're at, mate. It is where we're at. So, are you able to work then? Are you able to work like, obviously not the way that you used to, but are you able to go to work?
I'm back at work on certain hours. I'm back at work, and that's only because I'm playing the game. I'm playing the game because they want me to be doing things, but they don't want to accept or acknowledge what they may or may not have done. Well, that's got to come out in the background. It doesn't come out in the foreground. Do you know what I mean, Jace?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. It's
that's exactly where it is. So here I am. Here's me. They've not beaten me. They've not killed me. They've not put me away. So they've just got to. We've got to meet at some level, and I don't know where that goes, really, because I've never been in these kind of positions with what I've been put into. But for the past year, as you well know, I've concentrated on keeping myself alive, and I've done a decent job of that with people who care about me, and that's where we're at.
There we go. And that's important, that, though, isn't it? I mean, you've got people around you. That's important, and I don't want to sort of like down anybody that's like perhaps having to deal with shit on their own. But it is a lot easier when you've got people that help you. Would you agree with that?
Jace, I'm basically on my own. I'm basically on my own, apart from very, very core people who are close to me, right? So that means that I've got a good support, but I also work with so many people who haven't got any, not even that support. They've got nothing, mate. And society is built to not help that. And when we start talking about, again, we always go into accounts, businesses, all that kind of stuff. Well, I've just been taken off the clinical psychology list, which is what they call stage 4. Now, I don't reach the threshold of stage 4, Jason. You know why?
Go on.
I'm not suicidal.
All right, okay.
So the factor is, when I am suicidal, when I am stood on the M62 motorway bridge, then I qualify. Up until that, I don't qualify. So in other words, rather than let me get to stage 4, they won't spend the money. But stage 3, which is CBT, doesn't work, because I don't. Have you done CBT or anything like that before, Jace?
No, I've not now.
Right, CBT is a basics. Basic is to have you look at your situation from a different angle. right?
Right.
Jace, you had your leg taken. Can you look at that from a different angle?
Well, not really.
Not really. So CBT would not necessarily work with you straight away.
Right.
Is that right? Is that right?
I don't know what CBT is.
Cognitive behavior.
Behavioral therapy. Right. Okay. Yeah.
So what it basically does is, listen, you've lost your leg. Let's look at it from a different angle. You've lost your leg. Let's look. You've lost your leg, but you sat down, so you don't have to like walk. So that's positive. What? Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So when I sat down with my CBT therapist, I said, this doesn't work for me because I've done CBT. I know what it is. I've studied psychology. I've got massive amounts of anxiety that I can't look at different angles from. So what can you do? Well, 6 sessions later, she said, nothing. So she's massively apologised and they put me forward for what they call stage 4 clinical psychology. But I don't reach the threshold. So I said, why? Why don't I reach the threshold? Because stage 1, 2, 3 is not applicable. So why is not stage 4? I'm not suicidal. After 4 assessments, Jace, after 4 assessments that have said you've got PTSD, but 4 assessments, I said to him, I'm not suicidal.
I'm getting a lot of feedback. I'm getting a lot of feedback, Webby, on your mic, I think.
It's not mine, that, mate. That's not mine.
I don't think it's mine. Anyway, go on, keep going.
What do you think? Is it mine?
I don't know. I don't know where it's coming from. Let me try. You carry on talking, Webby, and I'll try muting Jimmy's mic, and then I'll try muting my mic, see if it works. All right.
I don't think it's mine, mate. I don't think it's mine. But what was I saying?
You were talking about being suicidal and CBT and that sort of stuff.
Right. So because I'm not suicidal, even though that when you want to talk about it, I've been in situations, Jace, where, do you know what? Guess what? I don't want to be here anymore. Those are the situations that I've been in. I'm sick of it. I'm tired. I'm done. But have I thought of taking myself out? No, because it's too painful. It's too hard. It could be very long, drawn out. All these things come in. So yes, I don't want to be here. But no, I've never thought of killing myself. And because I've never thought of killing myself, I don't reach the threshold. So in other words, what they're saying is, for them to spend money on helping me, I have to fall off stage 3, hit stage 4, and then they may give me some funds to help me.
Right. Well, that's a bit fucking shit, isn't it? So they'll help you when it's too late.
Yeah, exactly. Let me know when it's too late. Let me know when it's too late. What? He's swinging? He's swinging from a tree? Oh, I think that might be too late.
Yeah. That's fucking shocking, that is. That is fucking shocking.
Do you know what? It's not. It's not, Jace. It's not shocking.
It should be, though, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it should. You're right. It should be shocking, but it's not. It's actually normal because they don't want to spend money on something that hasn't happened.
It's the same. Do you know, I had the similar thing. By the way, Jimmy, I think it's your mic, mate, because when I muted it, we lost that thing. So I think we're just getting a bit of feedback, I reckon. I don't know what it is.
I've eased back on my volume there just a small bit, and maybe that'll help.
Yeah, that might help. It's we'll see next time when Webby's talking again. But it's a similar sort of thing, Paul, to to when I went with my left leg. I went to when I had back in the day when I first had problems with my right leg, which is the one that I've had problems with for about 10 years. They did a scan and they found that my left leg had occluded almost as much as my right leg had. Right. And I said to him, I said, well, are you going to do something about that? Are you going to because I don't really want to go through all this again. And they said, we don't do anything until something's happened, until you've got symptoms.
Boom.
And that's ridiculous. And the first time I got symptoms with my leg, it's gone. So,
The first time, well, let's look at it objectively. The first time you got those symptoms could have killed you.
Yeah.
And they waited for you to get to that point before they could say, and it's because of paperwork. On paper, Jason didn't need any treatment until that happened. Now we've got to give him treatment. Well, if we have a business model like that, that is why we are in the state we're in. It's not rocket science. It really isn't.
No. How's your health anyway, Jimmy? Are you doing all right? Like,
Yeah, apart from my chest, like I'm a chronic smoker, though, so it's self-induced, But I've been easing back. When I'm out working a bit more often, I'll probably end up smoking less. When you're just hanging around and feck all to do, it's so easy just to smoke like a cunt, But apart from that, like I don't have any complaints health-wise, which is crazy, like, because the amount of abuse I've given this poor body over the years is just unreal. There hasn't been a drug that I haven't. Sorry, Webb.
Saying it's God's temple that what we pollute. We always do it, mate.
Well,
yeah,
look,
we do. Yeah, you're right. We do.
It's like, well, look, it's a temple as such, but we're here for short time, and we're not here just to, we're here to experiment and explore, and especially with God's plants, right? So like God doesn't make these plants which produce all these crazy substances for no reason, and for us not to use them. So, but I guess some of us get carried away, like with man-made chemicals, and that's probably where we fuck up, So, and I'm surprised that I'm not a chronically ill person now to this day. Like, but I've always had a certain amount of self-preservation, a sense of self-preservation, and and I've always pulled back from the brink, and I will continue to do that, like, and still continue. But I live quite healthy these days, apart from a few drinks now and a few smokes. For the most part, I eat healthy, take care of myself as best I can. Because as you get older, you just have to. You can't do the shit that you used to be able to do as the youngster, So it's a sensible policy just to start taking it easy once you get to the wrong side of 50,
Yeah, and we're both wrong side of that. You're not quite 50, are you yet, Webby?
Yeah, I'm 50.
Oh, yeah? Oh, right.
Yeah, 2nd of January this year, I turned 50. I had, I didn't have people running around after me and building big parties and things like that, because they know that I'm not really into that. But the factor is, what people don't realise is I want to connect with people and my family and tell them things that they don't necessarily know. But the problem is that's a bit of a fantasy, because people aren't interested.
They won't listen, especially in that.
No, you're right. It's exactly like that. Liverpool won this week. City didn't. That should be a big thing for me, but it's like
I know what you mean. I look, Wednesday are in playoffs tomorrow,
exactly.
which I'm doing I'm not doing a show tomorrow. Because I'm going to be watching that. So
You'll be a knob like me.
I'm trying. Listen, I try. I don't. There's no way that it means as much to me as it used to do when I was.
I know it doesn't, but you're still a knobhead for doing it. But you can't.
But come on,
You know
fucking
you
hell.
are. You are a knobhead, but you can't help it, Jace, because it's the beautiful game. It's the
It is.
beautiful game.
I wanted to say when I was in the waiting room there before I got into the stream, Jay, you were apologising, right, for not being able to do a show yesterday and not doing it. Look, you don't have to fucking apologize for shit like that. If you're not in for doing a fucking show, just you don't do it. You drop a message on your platforms, let people know, look, I won't be doing it today, and you don't have to apologize for shit like that. You don't owe the world anything. You only owe yourself, you know.
To be fair, that's a bit strange for me, actually, Jace, because I thought when I saw the Raconteurs news pop up, I thought, hang on a minute, it's Thursday. What's going on here? So it was a bit interesting to me why you're on tonight. What do you think it is? What's brought you here tonight on the 5th of the 5th?
Cinco de Mayo.
Who?
I don't know what it is. It is interesting, that 5th of the 5th, yeah. Cinco de Mayo, isn't it? It's Independence Day in Mexico.
Well, that's what I'm saying. What's made you not do what you normally do, and all of a sudden you're here, and you more than likely haven't got a clue why you've just opened this up tonight and not on Tuesday, and all of a sudden you've got to be humble enough to open your mind and go, wow, is from my point of view, is God opening this up to something? Whereas some people go, oh, it's the universe opening it up to something. It doesn't matter. There's something different.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, because they were having quite a discussion last night in the Telegram thing. If anyone's got, I've got Telegram link, I'll find it and I'll fucking, I'll stick it in chat room. But there were stuff on Telegram talking about, people are questioning reasons why we're here and things like that, and what his purpose is. And I suppose it's the oldest question since men could think. Why are we here? What are we doing and what have you? But like you say, everyone's got a different interpretation. But everybody seems to agree that it's not just unless you're some sort of fucking weirdo scientist wanker that thinks that you can. You can have a propulsion system in space. Shut up. In a vacuum. No, unless you're. Sorry, Jimmy.
Okay, I just I loved because look, I've been studying this shit for fucking 25 years, man. Right, 25 years when I first learned about the goddamn flat Earth, right, and the same with the secret space program. So I've had 25, and if people are still talking about that, that's great. I'm delighted. And that's people's personal journey, and I don't want to get in the way of that because my encounter with it was like it made a significant difference in my life and my perceptions of the world around me and what I once thought the world was like. And my worldview was very, very simplistic back before I started getting into all these conspiracies and stuff. So people are on their own learning curves, and it's not for me to say to anybody, no, this is it, this is what it is. But I don't mind sharing my thoughts and views on it. But I can't tell anybody, no, you're wrong. I can't do that. It wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, Chris Partridge, who's in chat room, he was saying that they were all talking shit last night on Telegram. I don't listen. It's fucking good stuff. I like it. I like everybody's point of view. I don't like everyone's point of view.
What was chatting?
But I'll listen. Go on.
What were they saying?
People were just having their own little discussions about what they thought it were. I mean, I nearly jumped in because I, like me, I've had fucking tons of like these spiritual fucking epiphanies and stuff like that. I even fucking had a dream one night that I fucking did, and I got greeted by myself. So there's something to think about. Right.
Well,
So
look, that's not too bad, eh? That's not too bad. I actually met myself during the waking hours one day. Now that's a freaky experience. I gave myself such a fright. I got up and ran away.
yeah, go on. You were going to say something, Paul Webber.
I was just going to say it's the weirdness. When I used to think back to where I had dreams and vivid, I can only pronounce it as vividness, where I'm interacting with you now, Jace, even though it's over radio waves, I can see where I am and I can feel physical things. And that's the strangity about when, particularly, when I go back to 2017, where I was dreaming every night, where it was so real. I was in Israel fighting against Israelis for some reason. I was firing M16s. I even recognized looking at the weapons and cleaning it. I was firing it. I could hear the gun crack. I could smell the acrid smoke. I could feel everything. And that went on for months. And then all of a sudden, it was like an epiphany where, yeah, you're born again. All of that built up towards where I went. Now, I can't explain that. I can't get... I couldn't even laminate it and, explain it to people, because it comes to a point where you have a belief and people go, well, you believe that. Well, that's a bit derogatory because you believe that. Yeah, but do you understand why I believe this? Well, most people don't care why you believe in something. I never believed that Jesus was my savior and he took everything away. I never believed that. But when I read the Bible and I understood it as law, I understood that's what he did. But I was still stuck with the thing, Jace, was how do you believe that's what he did? I understand that as in nuts and bolts. That's what you're telling me is what he did. How do I believe? Because, where I am now, it's 9:45 at night. It's dark. Could anybody tell me it's daylight? No. Nobody can make me believe that. So I was stuck in the same predicament. I understood the nuts and bolts. I understood what you're trying to tell me, but how do I believe? And it wasn't until basically I'd been fighting and lost everything, where I was on my face and going, right, that's it, me done. I'm ready to come home now. And that's where I learned what had gone on. And Jace, how many times have we discussed? I've not told you. How many times have we discussed about this debt-based economy where you pay? And it's
more
wrong.
times than I care to think about, man.
Well, let's tip it upside down. You can't pay. So what are you meant to do? You're meant to set off. But you're not taught that. But Boris and his mates are taught that by 13. For me, that was it. Let's cap it there. Any people who want to call me names or attack me from that point, you've got to bypass all that. You've got to come into the bills of exchange. Nobody will, because nobody does.
Well, fucking hell. I mean, I'd be... Do you know what I'd think? If you said if I were going into bills of exchange with you, I didn't know whether I'd fucking get out.
Well, that's the fucking point. How stupid do people have to be to think, Oh, I don't understand that. But it's so simple. It really is. It's got to be simple, Jace, because I'm an ex-taxi driver, I'm an ex-window cleaner, and I understand it. I haven't gone through these systems of massive mathematics, but I understand it. So somebody's either, I've got to admit humility and go, I don't know what you're talking about, and let me learn, or you're going to get people who are fucking idiots. And what are we led by?
Well, idiots, yeah. They're wankers, aren't they? It's fucking crazy, man. It is crazy. It is crazy. I've been look, like I say, I've this last couple of weeks, I weren't feeling very well anyway. On last week, so I've just had to just cut it all off. You know what I mean? The only stuff I know about what's going on in Ukraine now is the stuff that Jimmy posts on the Raconteurs News Telegram thing. That's all I know because I don't care.
Right. Well, I'm speaking to a fellow who's just done a broadcast for Mariupol. They're talking about what's going on. They're showing drone footage. It's people.
It's,
There are people hiding out and trying to keep these places, but it's a nothing thing, and that is where I completely shut off, Jason. Go into the scriptures where it is there will be wars and rumors of wars. We have got so many rumors of wars because since 2014 in Syria, where BBC were telling me that this is a civil war, which it wasn't, but now I'm being told that this war is a certain thing, and it's not. So I've got to sit there with my hand on my face and my elbow on my knee and go, this is bollocks again, isn't it? And until somebody comes out and says, hey, it's not bollock, Webby, because of this, I have to sit there and go, this is bollocks. But I have to interact with, and I don't mean this derogatory because it is a legal term, I have to work, sit, stand, walk around with, interact with idiots who say, let's go on this 10,000-mile walk for Ukraine. What? Do you know what you're doing? Well, we're trying to save people. No, you're not. You do know that these are Nazis. No, we don't know that. Oh, well.
I've fucking tried, mate. I've tried. You might as well just not bother.
Exactly.
By the way, they're Nazis. What, you got a Nazi flag? I did it at fucking outside swimming baths at Clown one time. I said to a woman in reception, I walked in reception, because reception, swimming baths is at council officers, right? So
Yeah.
it's at council officers. So as you go in, there's a reception on corner for council. And as I walked up, I walked past and she looked up at me and I said, what you got a Nazi flag outside for? She says, well, someone's put a Nazi flag up. She's looking like that. She's going, I can't see it. I can't see it. She said, there, look, that yellow and blue thing. And she said, oh, no, Nazis is like...
That's Ukraine, you dickhead.
I said, shut up.
Can I tell you an interesting one from last night? Because the last couple of days I've been doing my certification for to get the chainsaw ticket, right? And I went out to celebrate last night, and I got involved in a conversation with one relative and one person who everybody was kind of looking like they were the fucking village idiot in the pub because he was fucking balubas on drink. You know, he was stocious, right? Poor fucker. He was barely able to walk straight. He couldn't take 2 steps forward without staggering, right?
That's not like an Irish lad, is it?
Yeah. Oh, that's perfect. You know, he's a really good guy. I work with him from time to time, and he's a really, really good guy. But he would be the least likely person that I would have thought would have known fucking anything about anything. And I was trying to explain to my relative, who's about 60 years old, who doesn't know a whole lot, like, about the Nazi program in Ukraine. And
What a shame.
the dude that actually understood what I was talking about was the guy who everybody was looking at like he was the fucking village idiot. He was
Yeah.
the only one who fucking had a clue.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
You know? And do you know what? I had a really nice day yesterday because I met another couple. I won't give their names, Jim and his lovely wife, and 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 I won't give a second name because Kelly.
I love this lad. I love this lad. I won't tell you who he is, Paul.
But anyway, his lovely wife. I got into a conversation about his job because I'll tell you what. I'll tell you. This is kind of important because Jim's brother, Carl. I won't tell you his name, and he's been having a hard. Oh shit! Did I just? Hold on, I'm after doxing poor fucking Carl. Anyway, but look, nobody here knows him anyway, so it's okay. And, so he's been having problems with his heart for the last couple of months, man. And
Yeah.
they done an operation on him, and everything should have been all right. And he's still having problems, and he's got short breath. It's like he's got symptoms of COVID-19. Now, I know people in the chat are just going to say, fucking Jimmy's talking bullshit. He believes in fucking COVID-19. But look, poor old Jimmy actually believes it's real because Jimmy understands what's causing all the fucking problems. So just, okay. Give me a hard time about it if you like. That's okay. And so it sounded like that he's got that spike protein going through his veins. And he's a type of lad now that, like, if you try to tell him that, like, maybe you should try taking ivermectin because this is probably what's going on. You've got spike protein infecting the lining of your vascular system, and that's making it really, really hard for you to process oxygen. And this is what it sounded like to me. And I was explaining to Jim this stuff, and he says, look, there's no point talking to that lad. He fucking go through you for a fucking shortcut. He's as thick he's more thick than me, But, at least Jim gets it, And his wife turned around to me, says, I didn't take. I took the first job, and then I didn't take the fucking second or the third because I was really scared of it. And do you know what? And during the week, the daily expose. Now, I don't follow them that much because they're an annoying cunt of a paper, but they put out an interesting metric of the amount of people they think had jabs over in the States, and it turns out that probably a very, very high number, probably in the 150 to 160 million people have not had a second or third jab, really, really high numbers. So there's probably a lot of people out there that we just don't know of just yet who didn't buy the soup. Maybe they took the first one and says, look, let's draw the line here. Let's forget about it. So do you know what? We shouldn't write all these people off just yet.
I think what we've got is a smorgasbord of so many people who are infiltrated is a good word, but infected in so many different ways, and the so low levels to the high levels. That is why it's so profitable for these dickheads to now start processing it, because we've got vaccine mandates going through Parliament. We've got damage bills and all this kind of stuff that these people have already been, they're shown that they're legally not liable because that's how it was signed in. People don't understand how many trials that they've all volunteered themselves for. And that's what puts us in this this non-violent but violent position that we're in. Jimmy's spot on with what he was analysing about it. It's if you imagine jumping into a pool and you sink, you immerse yourself. Well, we're immersed. We're at the bottom of this pool. and we can look around ourselves and we can let a bit of expression out because we can breathe a little bit out for the time being, and let's look what's going on in this environment. All of a sudden, everybody that I've ever known who've been in toxic environments are going, it's not good, this is toxic, we need to do something different. So when you start looking at that and splitting it and making it different, you want to make it better. The problem that you've got is the powers that be work off pieces of paper and say, that's not financially viable. That's where we have the problem. It's not about helping people anymore. It's about ticking boxes on pieces of paper. And that's where we're at. We can bitch, we can stamp our feet, we can cry about it. But that's where we're at. Until people accept, and I still, Jason will take this to the bank. All the shows I've ever been on, I've gone, I can't understand how man would accept paying for bills in a debt-based economy, which is detriment to what they should be doing. But guess what? My mum taught me to do that. And my mum ran businesses. She worked 13 hours a day. She should know more than me. She should know better. But she didn't. Grow some balls and accept humility that you don't know what you're fucking talking about, and go and have a look.
Excuse me, I've got balls.
That's
That's what you'll get. That's what you'll get. I've got balls. I'm a man.
Jimmy O'Leary just come in the chat room and said your gas is free, right? He put a show out saying your gas is free. How many people understood what Jimmy was actually saying? Because Jimmy sat with me, so Jimmy understands what I'm talking about. So he also understands about trigger. So your gas is free. That'll trigger people. Well, go and have a think. Or don't. Because you're stupid. That's where we're at, Chris. But I was talking to you about this 5-6 years ago. I said people are going to be stupid. And we could never work it out. Why? Still to this day, mate, I don't understand how people don't feel what I feel, that my mum, who worked 13 hours a day in her own business, said, work hard, pay your bills. Okay, mum, I'll do that. But that's not what we're meant to do as a creditor in a debt-based economy. That is fundamental, foundational teaching. Yet, Boris and his mates are taught the Bills of Exchange Act by the age of 13. There's something not right. If you don't think so, you're stupid.
It's been turned into a bit of your tagline, really, hasn't it? I mean, it's going to be on your fucking gravestone that your gas is free, isn't it?
It will be.
Jimmy's. Every time I see her, fucking gas is free. Every time I see old Jimmy, I've not seen his shows actually for a couple of.
Do you know what? He says your brews are free, right? I've paid for my brews with Jimmy, but Jimmy has paid for my brews as well.
But can you pay for your brews in a debt-based economy?
Exactly. That is the promise. So me and Jimmy promise loads of things, but we interact by physical cups of tea, crisp, and things like that, but we've always promised. That's what people can't accept. They can't accept they've been lied to. This is the stupidity, because if I've got something in my pocket and you don't know what it is, Jace, you're ignorant to that information.
I'm not ignorant to it. No, I'm not. I'm not ignorant to it. I don't know that information. I don't know that exists. Ignorant means I've ignored it.
Dickhead, you don't know what's in my pocket. You're ignorant. You're ignorant.
I'm not ignorant.
What's in your pocket?
I don't know what's in your pocket.
Exactly. So you're ignorant.
That don't make me ignorant, does it? It
Of course
just means
it
I don't know. Ignorance
No,
has got
no.
ignore
Listen,
and ignore
Right.
and you knew it was there, but you ignored it. That's
No,
ignorance.
no,
It's a different
no,
definition. Come on, look at
no.
the word. For God's sake, you don't have to be fucking Jordan Maxwell's corpse to fucking know that, do you? It's ignorance. You ignored it. That's why they get you to say you're ignorant of it, because then it's that you knew it was there, but you've ignored it. That's why the ignorant is the work is. And I don't really want to know what's in your pocket.
Well, I've not got any pockets, to be fair.
No,
What I'm saying is, if I've got something in my pocket and I say, I've got this in my pocket, you're ignorant at that point to what is in my pocket. So you would say,
I'm not ignorant though, am I? Honestly, I'm not. It's a little bit
You
like
are.
pain stuff. You're not ignorant. If you don't know it exists, you're not ignore it. That's how they get you.
no,
Why they say ignorance of the law is
no,
not a
no.
defense. They'll say that because
No.
you're ignoring it by the word. But they will ask you if you got pulled over and you've been banned from driving and you get pulled over and they want to do you for disqualified driving. They have to make sure that you knew that you were banned, right? That you were in court and banned. So
Yeah.
they have to make sure you know that.
Right.
But why? Ignorance of the law is not a crime. Well, that's because you're not
It is.
ignoring, don't know it existed in the first place. It's not ignorance.
It is. They can absolutely stand under ignorance, Jace, because you can say, this is a 30 miles an hour zone. You were traveling at 40. I've clocked you at 40, right? So that is a violation of what this law is. His ignorance of that law, you would say that's no excuse.
Yes, because it isn't an excuse. Because he's on that road, right? There are signs, and he should have known what the speed was, but he chose to ignore it. If he didn't know how fast he was going, he was ignoring his speed. That's the difference, right? If he didn't know something existed, that's completely different to being ignorant of it. If you're ignorant of it, it exists, and you should know that it exists, but you don't. But you not that you don't, but you claim that you don't know it exists. That's what ignorance. That's why if you agree that you're ignorant of something, you are then admitting that you knew it was there, but you've ignored it, because that's what ignorant means.
But that's
Whereas
why that is why it's explained in speeding. If you get caught speeding, the ignorance of what the laws are, they'll say is no excuse. But they've got to
but
apply
speeding
it.
offence is strict liability.
No,
Right?
it's not.
Nothing
It's
strict
not.
liability.
Right. Okay.
It's strict liability. All motoring offences are strict liability. And for a crime to have occurred, there has to be two portions to it: the mens rea, which is your mental state,
Right,
and then the
okay.
actus reus, which is the
Let's
act
forget
itself.
crime. Let's forget crime.
Yeah, we're not
Let's
talking
go
about
back
crime,
to-
are we? We're talking about words and ignorance.
Yeah,
and
well, let's
things
go
like that.
back to what we just said. What did you say?
What did I
Forget
just say?
the crime bit. What did you just say?
Actus reus, there's two parts to a crime.
Speeding.
The actus reus and the
Speeding.
mens rea. Now, because you weren't meaning to speed, but you were, means you're still guilty of the offence, because they are what they call strict liability. So the act
No.
itself on its own is enough for you to get convicted of that.
No. That's
Yes.
no.
Yes.
No.
I'm telling you.
All right.
Motoring offence is a strict liability. And strict liability means that it doesn't
Strict
matter what your
liability
intentions
to
were.
who? Strict liability to
Strict
who?
liability, yeah.
To who?
What you on about? Strict liability. Strict liability, as in the
Speeding.
liability for the crime is strict.
Okay,
In
I
that the crime has only got to have taken place.
Hang on. I speed. I've got clocked. Who am I liable to? and why am I liable?
Yeah, but that's a different question, isn't it? I mean,
It's
that's
not a
completely
different question.
to
It's
what
not.
we were
It's, I
talking
get
about
what
before.
you're saying. I get what you're saying, Jace. I get why you're trying to dissect it, but it's not a different question. It's the same. It's exactly the same.
It's not exactly the same at all. It's not, because you're not causing an offence. You're not causing anybody an offence, an individual. You're causing an offence to the corporation, to the people that own and run the roads, right? And the
Okay,
strict
okay.
liability,
So I'm gonna
the
I'm
crimes
gonna
that have been
fine you.
committed.
I'm gonna fine you for the offence you've caused on that road, right? So
Okay.
how are you going to define that?
What do you mean? How am I going to define it? I ask you for money and you give me, and if you don't, then I come round and I get it from you with violence, which is essentially what happens.
Okay, why would I be liable to give you anything?
But you're
What?
not liable if you're breaking it down the way that
No,
you are. But I'm
no,
talking about the way that the system is, not the way that it should be, or the way
no.
that if it stuck to the actual letter of the law, it would be. I'm talking about the way that it is.
That's what I'm saying. The fact that it is a traffic offence. It's a speeding offence. It's a business offence.
It's an offence. An offence. I said it were an offence.
So why
And
are
it's a
you
business
saying,
offence. I said against a corporation.
right? So if you're not a corporation, why would you be willing to pay? Why are you
You see,
debating?
that's a completely different. I'm not willing to pay.
But you do.
Well, I don't, because I haven't had a speeding ticket in fucking God knows how long.
Okay, right. Well, that's a great defence, isn't it? I've not done that because that's not applied to me. That's where we're all at. Unless it happens, nobody will do anything.
Well, how does me going out and committing a speeding offence just for the sake of it, so that I can then go to court? How does that help anybody? It doesn't help anybody, does it?
Stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah, exactly. It's stupid.
You'd be stupid to go and take something on to do something with, especially when you don't know what you're doing. But you'd be stupid to do that. The problem that you've got is that there are massive amounts of information to stop these people doing that to other people. The problem we've got is people will not stand up for themselves.
But you see, we're getting away from a fundamental point. The point that we were talking about before. We're getting right away. We've gone from a speeding offence being strict liability to and ignorant. In fact, we started off at ignorance, didn't we? We started off
go on, bring me back.
at ignorance. We've gone miles away. We're not talking about how people react to them. We're talking about how they are used. The word ignorance, like the mistake you've made is that you think ignorance is that you just don't know it's there. Well, that's not true. You can see it in the word. It's ignorance. You've ignored it, right? Like temperance is what I'm doing at the moment. You know, I'm temperate. Temperate, or whatever. You know the.
He sounds very temperate, doesn't he?
I'm sort of saying it's just and I can't deal with how. I'm not talking about how people react to it and how they should do and how they shouldn't do, and how people are, how we're going to get rid of this system. What I'm just saying is that
Get rid of it. Why would you want to get rid of it? This is what I've had a massive argument about for a long time. Why do I want to get rid of a system that works perfectly well for me, as long as I get off my arse and I go and work in a system and allow taxes to be taken? If I'm aware of where those taxes are going and I can what shall we say? I can interact to where those are going. Why would I be bothered? That was my issue. Gas, water, and electric need to be paid for. The taxpayers pay for it up front. Okay, what do I need to do for that? do your job. I can do that. I can do that. So that means my gas is paid for from my taxes, and I've just got to sign something. That is fucking piece of piss. Anybody who wants to argue with that must be stupid for the fundamental, because I've spoken with constitutionalists and I've said, why don't you take control of the straw man? You know, you want to say, I'm this man, but you can't do this. Well, that piece of paper, that little car on the Monopoly game goes, you could use that to get rid of your gas, water, and electric because you're willing to allow payments. It makes too much sense. And when it makes sense, why would you? I don't get it.
It makes sense to you, Webby. It makes sense to you, but what you're doing is you're going to eat yourself with this, where you keep going back to the same thing all the time, and not being able to get it. You're going to eat yourself with it. You've got to like stop.
No, there is nothing else, Jace. Right, you've got to understand.
Can I just say something? Let me just say something anyway.
The system I'm talking about that we've all participated in is going to go. So what I'm talking about will not matter because they'll collapse the economies. But for 10 years, we could have sorted this. We could have dealt with it. We could have done stuff with it. We're in a position now where people have got to make decisions. And from those decisions, we will format our new society. But nobody's interested at this moment.
Of course, nobody's interested. People have got. This is why we were saying earlier on. Jimmy mentioned. Good evening. You're right there, Jimmy, mate.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm happy listening to you guys.
That's all right. I wanted just to say, it's Raconteurs News. It's Thursday night. It's the 5th of May. It's Mexico Independence Day, I think, Cinco de Mayo.
And your gas is free.
And it was May the 4th day yesterday. It's Star Wars Day yesterday. But yeah, it's Thursday, so I'm doing this because I'm not doing a show tomorrow night because Wednesday are playing, and you know, we've not played a game like a big game for a few years since playoff final last time I went. So yeah, I'm not doing one, and I didn't do one on Tuesday because I just couldn't be bothered. Really, that's
just a lazy bastard.
No.
That's its way. Honda 404 says, I presume your driving license ties you to the DVLA policies. Spells police is the I is a man and the S is the serpent that usurped man to commerce. Brilliant. Yeah, Wednesday playing Friday. I know that sounds funny, doesn't it? Yeah, but it's good. Yeah.
I didn't see that. Yeah. Brilliant.
They are, yeah. Weird. So I didn't do a show on Tuesday. I didn't do a show Wednesday. I'm doing a show Thursday, which I don't normally do, but I'm not doing a show Friday because Wednesday are playing. Yeah, all right. Calm down, Unit.
You do this show Thursday.
Let me on. You do Jason. Let me on. Uni, calm down.
You do this show Thursday because Wednesday's playing Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Weirdo, you lot.
It's my life, mate. And listen, I went into Aldi yesterday, fucking dry as a bone when I came out.
You're weirdos, mate. All that pennies, weirdos.
Yeah, all right.
Can I ask Webby a question?
Come on, Jimmy's going to ask you a question, Webby. Hang on, go on, Jim.
I'd like to ask you a question about these bills of exchange because I've looked at some of the material that you're talking about, and I understand the concepts because I've actually looked at all this shit before, but not too in depth. But what I would ask you is because obviously, like, not all bills can be settled in this manner, like, and I'm just wondering, Um, is this type of settlement specific to, say, for example, uh, publicly owned services? Would I be hitting on in the right direction here? Like say anything that's owned by the public.
You're absolutely in the right jurisdiction. The
Right.
factor is that everything has been paid for by labour, by manual labour, and that has been done by what they want to refer to as creditors. It's not me, Jimmy. This is what these people, the legal people, refer to us as legal persons. So the factor is that they've fucked up with the economy. They've still got to apply certain policies to give us services if we accept all the debts, which we have. We might say, our parents signed us up to it, I've not done it. Forget that. You've signed up to it. So you work a job and they take taxes. The taxes are gone. Okay, you've took me taxes. What are you doing with them? We're going to pay for your gas, water, and electric for the year so that you've got shit. You've got stuff. Thank you. What do I need to do? Well, when we've spent your money for the January, we'll send you a bill with an instrument attached to it. Sign and date it, and we'll balance all the fucking books. It's not complicated. It really isn't.
I understand where you're coming from, but not all bills actually come in the format that you actually show.
Right, let me stop you, Jimmy, because what we're talking about are fundamental services that we pay for. So if we go into, let's say, broadband for that's quite a broad thing. So let's go for the internet services. Well, I'm paying for that. So therefore, if I'm inquiring into a service, I'm going to be a debtor. Well, what does a debtor do? They pay. So all my promise is I will pay for my service. But what if my services have already been paid for through my taxes? Well, do you know what? They'll provide me with an instrument for that, so they know what they're doing. The problem we've got, Jimmy, is we don't know what they're doing.
I wonder, Webby, is this why they're collapsing the economies of the world? Like they're destroying small businesses like that. We don't even, probably at an unimaginable rate. Like, everybody's going to be out of work
Big
and
time.
have nothing and be dependent on state. And this seems to be the direction they're pushing it. So are we being led down an alley here where we're going to end up like being slaves, serfs forever? Like, is that the plan, do you think? Or
You're already slaves, Jim. You're already slaves. You're in indentured servitude. They're taking taxes off you. So you are working for nothing with promissory notes in a servitude where they take taxes. So you've agreed to everything. This is the stupidity. This is an ignorance. You can be ignorant to something. You can be totally ignorant. Hey, it's raining outside. Well, I'm totally dry. Look at me. I'm totally dry. Yeah, because you've got a roof over your head. There's no rain coming in. But go outside. Well, as soon as you go outside, you get wet. Why? Because it's raining. I'm getting wet. It's about understanding. And do you know what? It sounds really weird, but our world is not based on understanding. It's based on pieces of paper that could be. Yeah, that's capable.
Yeah.
Well, we've got our Our council tax cases, we've gone to high court. We've gone to high court appeal in this country. The highest court is still Europe, so we've got to go to Europe. In this country, our court council tax cases have been retired. Why? Because they cannot show that a private property with no business going through it, they can't claim tax on because there is no revenue and the business is not there. So the problem you've got is, what are they doing? There's no business there. How can they claim this tax? So we went all the way to High Court. And the Judge Fordham stated, your house is capable of being a shop. I can't argue with that. It is. Under certain circumstances, I could create my house to be a shop. But it's not a shop. Well, I'm not interested in that. That's what the judge said. It's capable of being a shop, so therefore council tax applies to that property because I deem it capable of being commercial. And that is the law.
Do you reckon we should get? Do you reckon we should get Webby to read some fucking pigeon stories?
I remember back in the day when I lived in England. Definitely, I want to hear Webby do some pigeon. But I remember back in the day when I was a stupid fucking idiot, like when I was younger. I lived in England, and the poll tax was coming in. I was working as an assistant nurse in Harperbury Hospital, just north of London.
Sorry for interrupting, Jimmy. Do you understand how the poll tax that was for Jimmy, the man, which wasn't a man because it was the person, obviously, but the poll tax was applied to everybody. That's why it kicked off. That's why it kicked off.
Yeah, and it should have been just for commercial people who were like in business and making money, but everybody got blanketed with the poll tax. Because I remember I got arrested over this shit, man. I was arrested in Brixton over protesting against the poll tax. I'll tell you what happened. We were in the middle of the riots in Brixton High Street, right? And this poor girl, she was standing up on top of a telephone box. She was trying to stay out of all the trouble because it was all chaos. And this Bobby came up, reached up, dragged her down. She fell flat on her face. She fell, and I didn't see her move after that. And I went in and I fucking smacked the cop on the head. And next thing you know, I was being carted off by 4 coppers, and being fucked into a paddy wagon. That was my day out in Brixton. But that was a great day. But we were protesting back then at the time. And if I'd known back then, I wouldn't have bothered. If I'd known then what you're telling me now, because like, we're not liable, and we should have stayed well out of it, and not entered into commercial, But I'm a bit cleverer these days, and I know what you're talking about when you're talking about this shit, Webby. So, it's not going to be like on Jimmy O's channel where people don't really want to look into it and they don't really take it seriously. But I know exactly what you're talking about, and I know it's been well discussed, all this information, and so I have an idea where you're coming from,
Well, I'll tell you the biggest thing that took my knees off was understanding that my mum, who worked 13 hours a day in her own businesses, said, Paul, you've got to get these fundamentals. And I said, obviously we're chunking. But I said, well, what do you mean? And she said, you've got to work and pay these bills. This is what life is. So she set me up for what life is. All of a sudden, I understand that if I pay in a debt-based economy, I'm acting as a debtor, which means I'm a business. Well, that isn't always culpable in the right environment. So if I've not got a shop, if I've not got stock, if I've not got employees, I've not got a business. But what they're saying is my house is capable of having employees, having stock, and having a business. And I can't disagree because that's true. So when I have to go to the highest court, which is purposely kept in Europe and not in England, because all the UK legal system is based on fraud, and I can prove it.
And Khmer Webby, how does Brexit affect your standing in the European
Doesn't
courts?
doesn't it doesn't
It
that's
doesn't, no.
that's the issue, Jimmy.
Oh,
It doesn't affect our standing because we never signed up to Article 1 of the European Courts of Human Rights. So the European Courts of Human Rights does not apply in the UK. It doesn't apply in England because we never signed up to Article 1. So none of it applies. The universal human rights applies, but not the European courts. They don't apply in this country. Why? We don't have a European court. It's in Europe. So we have to beat our own system and go to Europe. So our argument to take to Europe is yes, my house is capable of being a shop. Right. So the court will go, so it's capable, the property is capable of being a shop. I'm happy with that. Is it a shop? Now, have you got revenue? Have you got business going through that property? No. Then, therefore, council tax at this moment does not apply. But you've got to go to Europe to get that ruling because you will not get that ruling in England. That's why
yeah.
the justice system is not slanted, it's corrupt. So that's the problem that we're talking.
That's exactly the problem I see here in Ireland too. And I spent a couple of years researching particular individual cases that happened in this country that ended up not getting a resolution in the Irish courts and ended up going
Yeah,
out to European courts, right?
yeah.
And to have the European courts find in their favour, and yet those people still have to come back and to force the High Court here in Ireland to abide by the ruling of the European Court. But what normally happens is they get overruled and they get paid off and told to shut up and have to sign non-disclosure agreements. But I understand what
Dirty
you're saying.
bastards. Dirty bastards. Exactly, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's the same. It's the same.
Anyway, listen, fellas, let's I just want to. We've got Uni is here. He's joined us. Good
Yeah,
evening,
hi,
Uni. Deirdre Rashid, as he's also known over there in Washington. How you doing, mate? All right.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Just trying to hang in there. You know, same old, same old. Yeah, just listening in on the bills of exchange. That's why I named myself. You know, the bills of exchange.
Bills of exchange. Yes. Yeah, we've been.
How many years have I been going on about the bills of exchange?
Fucking hell, 6. I've been on 6, and you've been before then. Fucking bills of exchange, Jesus fucking Christ! I nearly fucking did the other day. I nearly printed off some more fucking Webingo fucking tickets. I don't know if you remember that. We used to have a bingo ticket and all everything your bills of exchange stuff, and you fucking ticked them off, and you get Linehouse. So when you took that bingo in chat room, it was fucking funny as fuck. You remember that? Oh, he's gone for a shit, see? That's how it's way to shut him up. He's fucking. I'll play water streaming next time. There he goes, look, see? Yeah, so, yeah, Webby. Fucking Webby. Uni.
Yeah.
What do you want to show us? Let's lighten the mood. I want to do some pigeon as well, so I'm going to get you all to fucking read a pigeon story, and I want you to do it in the way that you feel like comfortable doing it. All right. So I'm going to get you to read some pigeon stories. It should be it should be a bit of a laugh. But what you've got something to show us, haven't you, Uni?
Yeah, you were talking about cars before, and I wanted to lighten the mood. I wanted to show something that I think we can all agree on is probably not a good thing.
What's that?
Jason, do you see the do you see the link? Basically, it's people that are probably not in the best of minds. I think, if you know what I'm saying.
What? I don't know what you're talking about. Are you fucking talking to me in some sort of cryptic fucking MI5 thing? Is that what you're doing? Are you fucking trying to send a? Are you the CIA trying to deliver a fucking message to MI5 via Raconteurs news? What the fuck is going
He's
on?
in
Go on.
James Bond mode.
Hang on, I've just slotted straight into a mode. I've got into the car. I've drove in to Manchester, and I've killed 17 people. Oh no, that's not right.
Yeah, it's like, my bad, I'm out. Or those guys that like try to show off in their cars, like they'll drive around in the circle and they'll like hit the brakes and the throttle at the same time.
Right. Okay. People doing donuts.
Donuts, yeah.
Oh, that's what it's called. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen, let's forget all this stuff. How's your nan? You must have been out with your nan recently.
You find what?
He's going out tomorrow with her. It's his day
No.
tomorrow. And it's his grandma.
How's your grandma? How's your grandmother?
Oh, she's doing all right. Yeah.
Good. Good.
She's
Tell her Webby's pleased as well.
I am very pleased.
Yeah, she's definitely not like my parents. Like she has a somewhat of an idea of what's going on.
She thinks. Is that what you're saying, Taylor? Your nan thinks.
Oh no!
Don't fucking set him off again, for Jesus, God's sake! Fucking for sure. Fucking hell.
Listen,
Come here,
Taylor. Does she believe in Jesus?
Oh no!
That I do not know.
Face, Jason.
What? You don't know if your nan believes in Jesus?
I know where you live. Sure. Carry on, Taylor.
I don't know.
I can tell you one thing. My nan is about 20 years dead, and I can tell you for sure she believed in Jesus.
He's the only way.
And if you didn't believe in Jesus as well, you got the wooden spoon.
Resi
I've got it, Jimmy. I've got it.
Resi Tuber thinks that I'm trying to show a video of Hitler arriving at Nuremberg.
So you want
possibly are. I'm not thinking you're going to show that, but you possibly are.
No, it's not Hitler. It's nothing to do with Hitler.
See? Sorry, wrong video. Sorry, wrong video.
I bet you I know what he's trying to show. He's trying to show you a picture of a couple of pedestrians probably who were surrounded by a couple of donut drivers in, was it Detroit or somewhere like that during the week? Is that what you're trying to show?
Yeah, it sounds like the Darth Vader crossing a road video.
What? I don't know that video.
Webby, are you familiar with a gentleman called Mauro Biglino?
No.
Well,
No.
Mauro Biglino is one of the main translators of the Bible, right? And he's just recently come on my radar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he is just after blowing me out of my boots. All you can see is a puff of smoke in my boots after what he's revealing about the translations of the Bible is just astounding, right?
So
now,
what's he saying?
What he's saying is basically, he's not saying that the Bible is not true, this, that, or the other, but he's tracing the original source of the Bible back to the Sumerians, right? This is really, really important, you know, and
Just to interject, that is earlier. The Bible's earlier than where you're at right at the moment. Just to interject, the Bible's earlier than where you're at, but I'm interested to hear what you're saying, Jim. So carry on, please.
yeah, and from the research that he's done, right, everybody should be familiar with Yahweh, right?
Mm-hmm.
And who Yahweh is, but who is Yahweh?
Yahweh. Totally.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Now, he thinks, it's his opinion, that Yahweh was the son of Enlil.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Enlil and Enki?
Yes.
Are you aware of this research?
I'm aware of Enlil. I'm not aware of where you're going with it, but
It's not where I'm going. It's not where I'm going. It's where Mauro Biglino is going, because this was a revelation to me, right?
right.
Because
Go on. Sorry, Jim. Sorry.
yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. Because I always presumed that Yahweh was the God that's been referenced in the Bible, right? I was convinced of it, right?
The only God. The only God.
Yeah, but if Yahweh was the son of Enlil, that means he's the son of the original God. You know, this is where I'm going with this.
Well, this is the point. There is no son. There is no Enlil. There is no son of God other than Christ. And I can only say that, and I'm going to be really honest with you, Jim, because I've got to strip myself bare. I didn't understand anything about religions. I didn't understand anything about energies and anything, all that, until I looked into it. Now, as I got into it, I found that, even as you can see my testimony online about me becoming a born again Christian, because I've gone through all this stuff. I've done mediumship. I was good at it. I was asked to go around spiritualist churches because I was good at what I was doing. But I always knew there's something after this, and I knew there's something going on around, but I didn't understand it. And as I started to try to get understanding, it created gaps. And those gaps are filled by religions. And all of a sudden, because of my personal stuff, which is what people would say, well, that's you, that me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me what people throw at me. Me, where I am, is what I have to deal with, what I have to work with. The energies made so much sense, but not until I read the gospel again. I understood it. It's so simple. In this world, if you believe in a God, in this world, you have got something to do. For me, it seemed too easy. Once I'd started to think and focus on stuff like that, and all of a sudden it was like, I'm meant to pay for these bills. Hang on, no, I'm not, because that means I'm acting as a business. Okay, I'll act as a business in certain aspects, but what about this? So gas, water, and electric are meant to be not free, which, you know, stupidly, I put on my website, said, your gas is free. And, you know, Jimmy O'Neill and all that has got this, Webby, your gas is free. It's not free. It's paid. It's paid up front. We're balancing books. That's where we're at this moment within this economy. But if you're not
people are not being given the means because
exactly. If you're not even it's not even that you're not giving that information. The information's there. The information is there, Jimmy. So the factor is you're ignorant. You're ignorant to that information because it's there. So this is where I get the conflict. When I say you're ignorant, I'm not ignorant. They all say.
I have no doubt I'm one of the most ignorant cunts you're ever going to fucking meet in your life, and that's just me. That's the way I'm an ignorant.
So Jimmy,
no,
Jimmy,
I'm okay with it. No, I'm really okay with
it. Okay, Jim, you've not got great illumination there, but if I said turn the light on, could you lean over to a switch and turn a light on? Could you?
No, I couldn't.
You couldn't?
No.
From outside, you can't turn a light on?
No, because my light doesn't have a switch. I have to plug it in.
What an awkward bastard. What I mean is, if you're sat next to a light switch, you can turn it on. So as soon as you turn that light switch on, whatever room you are in, it will be illuminated. So you can see what's in that room. Once you can see, you can decide what you're going to interact with, what you're going to accept, what you're going to deny. All this kind of stuff happens from light. So all of that can and is controlled to a certain aspect. So where do we go from what we know to where we think we can go? And then we've got absolutely ridiculous things about other dimensions and stuff like that.
Fucking hell, let's not go there, please. Please.
Well,
fuck's sake. I'm going to do something else. Fucking talking about.
Oh, Jason, play that video that I have linked.
We've actually gone from Yahweh back to the Bills of Exchange, and you know,
that's what I mean.
I'm going to try and tie this back again and keep it on point to what Webster's talking. How do we know and where we're going? And I might suggest, like, how the fuck are we going to know anything unless we know our past and our history?
Well, do you know what? I've got to answer. I've got to jump in. I've got to jump in because I've got to answer some of the things that are in this side post here. Where they're basically saying that we should all focus on the image of Christ. Right. I'm telling you now that the image of Christ is the basics of what we all feel in our hearts. The good, the bad, the 10 Commandments. It's all there. So I'm not trying to promote anything different. I'm trying to get people to think differently, because we can apply our psychology to those comments there, but the stupidity is that you are paying in a debt-based economy.
Right, I've took him off. I'm sorry. I can't fucking listen to that again. Does that make me a bad person?
No, it's your show.
No, I honestly can't listen to it again. We were going to the same place. debt-based economy. Then we go back to Jesus and all that sort of thing. I just couldn't. Sorry.
I wanted to focus in on because I brought up Yahweh and because like I know Webby's very very spiritually minded, like and I started talking about Mauro Biglino because do you know what? I wish I'd found him like 20 years ago, but I only found him the other day, and he confirmed this Mauro Biglino is the man that the Vatican go to when they're looking for translations of the old texts of the Bible and the old tablets and he basically confirming like everything that like what they say about the Old Testament, that like the human race we've been engineered and
I
that
know,
like
but can't you see? Can't you see that this is all there? All these things are all there to fucking distract you. They're all there to distract you. Even fucking Bible and religion and all that stuff. It's all there to distract you. This is why I just can't. And honestly, Webby, I fucking love you to death, but I think you might have fell off a wagon tonight. I've got to say that. I'm sorry. I just hope you're fucking, you're good, man. And I'll speak to you another time. But I just couldn't do that again. I just couldn't do it again. I could see chat room. We're losing fucking listeners hand over fist, and I just thought we were just going to the same place again. And I sort of fucking ruined it, Anna. Now.
it was a bit harsh, Jason. It was a bit harsh.
Well, look, it is. Well, maybe it is a bit harsh. Maybe it is a bit harsh, but I would just again it with that say the
he was preaching like the school teacher with and and I know where you're coming from. I know exactly where you're coming from because sometimes with information like this that's like really forward and it's like thinking outside the box. You can't preach it at people either, and I know I understand, but I still think it was a little harsh.
Well, all right, fair enough. It might have been a bit little harsh. Look, Webby, me and Webby it's happened. We fell out before. Well, we haven't fell out, but we've not spoken. And when we have spoken, we're able to clear things up. But I did look. I just nobody could get a word in edgeways. I've had Uni on now for like half an hour, and he's not even fucking said a fucking word.
I know, and I wanted to bring him back to the Old Testament, and he went off in the comments, and so he did cut me off. So it's okay. I understand, man.
Right. Okay. So anyway, fucking lighten this mood for us, please. I feel like fucking the Grinch at Christmas. I really didn't know what to do. I hadn't done a fucking show this week, and then Anyway, go on.
Jason, just play. I trying to share a video. Add it to the stream.
So again, all right. This right. Add it to the stream. Right. Uni's got this video that he wants to show everybody for some reason.
It's funny. Look at that. What's wrong with this guy? Why is there so much steam coming from his damn car?
That's not steam.
What the fuck?
That's not steam, man. That's rubber burning.
What is it?
Smoke.
Oh, smoke. Oh, whatever. Same thing. Whatever.
Look at the cut.
We're good.
That's yeah. It's typical.
What is it? I mean, really? Come on, show us this, Uni.
What?
You can't show us this. Really?
It's funny.
Yeah, but it's on YouTube, and if anybody wants to watch that, they can just go on and watch it. There's fucking millions on them, millions and millions and millions.
Is it really?
Yeah, God Almighty, there's millions of videos like that. Just put fucking anything and fail in it. It'll.
Honest to God, there's any amount of them, it's just ridiculous. Just go look it up, look it up. Donut fails. Use that search.
Yeah, anything at all. So just put it in. you'll find fucking loads of them. Get you something else to look at on the internet, man. Hey, apart from Raconteurs news and dwarf porn.
Dwarf porn. What the fuck? Oh no. Oh man, but I don't understand is why do people fucking buy those like really like hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of car like expensive car, and then they just fucking like the next day they try to show off like a Mercedes or whatever, and they try to show off and they break it. It's like, was that really worth it, dude? Was that really freaking worth it?
They don't do it on purpose, Taylor. Right? Okay. It's the same. It's the same with all machinery, and the problem is you
Fucking
got
hell,
like
Taylor, what planet are you on? Why do you think blokes buy that? It's an extension to the dick, innit?
The problem is people don't understand the power of some of these machines. They really haven't a clue. They think it's like people with chainsaws. You know, people who think they know what they're fucking doing.
Oh,
like, you know,
chainsaws, and we started that again.
yeah,
That was going off in
honest
chat
to God,
earlier.
like, yeah, and tell you what, like people who get a chainsaw, they think they know what they're fucking doing, and they go out and they go mental with a chainsaw, start cutting things, and next thing you know, they're missing a fucking leg. You know, it's the same. It's the same thing, right?
Yeah.
People don't have no concept of the power of what's under their fucking arse. You know, they really don't. It's immature. You can easily tell that they're just children, absolute children. And it's no big fucking deal. It's like this happens every fucking day. And
Have you ever done that?
no, I don't mess around with machinery, especially powerful machinery. You have to treat it with respect. I, I'll tell you a good one. One day, I was going with my girlfriend at the time. We were heading towards the beach, and there was somebody in front of us with a Porsche, a really, really nice Porsche, and like, and you could tell that they didn't like being in this slow fucking traffic, right? And next thing you know, they decided they were going to make a boot for it. So they thought they seen a gap, so they quickly turned out right, jammed on the fucking pedal, and next thing you know, off they shoot. And before they were halfway overtaking the car in front of them, they realized, oh shit, here's somebody else coming now, and I better jam on the fucking brakes and get back into the fucking lane. And do you know what? I hope they felt as stupid as they fucking looked.
And then to make it even better, that's when the cops show up, and it's just like, yeah, you're an idiot.
You know, it's idiots. Yeah, idiot. That's a good descriptive term for a lot of these people. Idiots.
Fucking tons of them
Have you ever
about.
tried that back when you back in the day, like when you were younger? Did you ever try doing something stupid like that?
I've done loads of stupid things when I was younger, and a lot of that is down to lack of life experience, really, you know, and wanting to show the fucking world that I fucking knew more than I fucking really did, you know. So that's okay. You're allowed to get away with that when you're young, you know. But unfortunately, a lot of these type of things, they end up killing people as well too, which is really, really unfortunate, you know. And you know, out of stupidity, lives are fucking lost. I've never been unfortunate enough to kill somebody with some of my stupidity, so thank fuck.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a good point.
That's something we all should be proud to say. Yeah, it's fucking stupidity. We've all done some fucking stupid things, haven't we, in this time?
Yeah, and it's okay to be stupid when you're young, like, you know. Just try not to kill anybody.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go up to 2 hours, and then I'm gonna put thing in chat room, and if anybody wants to like come on after hours, like after I've finished broadcast, anyone wants to come on, there's usually a few people there, so if you want to come in and you like want to have a chat or just even listen, you can. So just get in, get in if you can afterwards. But we've got about 5 minutes left. So Uni, see, I'm all fucking flustered now, aren't I?
Chris is actually after asking a question there about a 50cc post-hole borer. I'd imagine that would be a powerful piece of kit, Chris, and I'd imagine that you'd want to have a little bit of manners with it, like when you're using it, and be prepared for the kick. I'd imagine it would tear the shoulders off you, like 50cc. Like I have a 75cc saw, and I'll tell you what, that's a beast of a machine. So 50cc post bore, have a bit of manners with it, and and be prepared for the kick. Especially if you hit a stone or something, like you go, oh jeez, what the fuck was that?
Well, I think I'm going to finish early. So I'm going to put the thing in the chat room now.
Yeah, that's grand.
And then if anybody wants to pop on, I'm going to finish the show. I'll be back on Tuesday. I'm not going to do tomorrow night. Sorry about tonight. It's been difficult. It's been a difficult one, but
Didn't you say it was because of your football game or whatever?
Yeah, football game tomorrow night. Yes. So let's hope Wednesday get through on Friday to next Monday's. After next Monday's second leg. Second leg. See, that's my second least favorite amount of legs.
So that game. What time is that game? I wonder. Maybe I might tune into that and have a look.
8 o'clock. I think it'll be kicking off.
8 o'clock. Maybe I can find it illegally on the internet somewhere.
No, you'll be able to find it somewhere. Yeah, if you know where you're looking, and you seem like a bloke that knows where to look for dodgy shit on the internet. So,
Jason, why don't you live stream it? You can live stream it.
I wouldn't admit to it in public if I found it. But yeah. I have been known to find dodgy streams from time to time.
Wait, Jason, why don't you just stream it on YouTube?
What?
The game.
I can't stream it on YouTube, can I?
You want to get him kicked off the fucking internet forever?
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, if he hasn't got kicked off yet, I doubt they're going to go after him just because of some stupid football game.
No, shut up. He's a fucking good ideas man, isn't he? That's what you'd have him in as a business. I need a good ideas man. I've got just the fucking chap for you. He's got Deirdre fucking Barlow glasses and that, but he's an ideas man.
We should buy Uni a Porsche and tell him to watch a few YouTube videos of doing donuts and go out and try it.
Yeah, Jason, right. Can I use your car to try it?
Oh yeah, I'd do it. Yeah, it'd be worth it, we need a good funeral to go to.
Right, I'll see you all later. Thanks a lot. See you Tuesday. Take it out. Take care. See you later. Bye.